I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor, and this is one of my experiences. Workman's Comp tried to assassinate my character. They played roulette with my life when they stonewalled me when I reported ideations. And I'm finally ready to share this part of my story. So let me give you a little bit of history. I was a near internal decapitation when I took a clothesline rope to the throat, running full speed as a valet manager at a private country club. This accident was very well documented on video. Now, to give you a little bit of context of what I mean is my accident was September 29th, 2018. By the end of January, Workman's Comp had been pushing my doctor, only 5 months in, to deem me at max medical improvement and put me on supportive care. Supportive care, let me help educate you, is not supportive care. It means that they're going to close your case in 6 months. I expressed that I was uncomfortable with this, that this kept moving and shifting and changing, and I was still very much not aware of what was happening to me, and I was very emotionally volatile. They said if I needed more care, they would support that, and they lied. They deemed me at max medical improvement 5 months after my injury, when my cognitive therapy results indicated that I was in the first to second percentile with other people my age and my educational level on being moderately to severely impaired in being able to process information, problem solving, memory recall, and memory retention. By the time I reached March, I had ideations that I reported, and they stonewalled me. That means that they stopped responding to my emails, to my calls, to my text messages. They played roulette with my life. And by June, they closed my case without ever talking to me. After forcing my job to reopen my Workman's Comp case, Workman's Comp decided they were going to punish me. Okay, fine, Lolly. You're going to go to our independent medical evaluations with our IME doctors. They sent somebody with such severe cognitive deficits to a 4.5-hour psychological evaluation where I had to process 1,000 questions and a 2.5-hour, what I will call, interrogation. I had to endure a 2.5-hour deposition where they tried to assassinate my character, where that lawyer showed up with a stack of papers a foot tall on me, and he tried to weaponize my chart from words that a nurse practitioner had written that had no relevance to my case. They were grasping for straws. They hired a private investigator to do what's called a social media integrity check on whether or not I was being truthful and honest in how I was representing myself to the world. Guess they didn't know who I was yet. I was in a very terrible gray area and a gap and blind spot in this system where I had what's called a bad faith claim. It is their responsibility to honor my ideations and not stonewall me. That is $1 million plus lawsuit. I also had my Workman's Comp issue. Workman's Comp lawyers kept saying, you have a bad faith claim, you need to talk to them. Bad faith claim lawyers had the audacity to tell me, well, if you were in California, I'd make enough money taking your case, but you're not. You're in Arizona, so your life has no value to me. This is a terrible thing to tell somebody with ideations, and I made sure to mirror that back to them. This is a massive issue. Workman's Comp is not for the employee. It is to protect the employer. And I want to bring this to light. I want to help educate you. If you are in a Workman's Comp situation, get a lawyer immediately. And hopefully you will have one that will fight for you. I did not. Mine came back to me when their lawyers said, we need to settle this outside of court, because they knew. My lawyer did not care. He wanted the quick dollar. He came back to me for $15,000, regardless the fact that every IME came back in my favor, regardless the fact that this was going to be a lifelong injury, regardless the fact of what they knew. And I didn't have the ability to fight anymore. They had depleted me. They had won. So let me be the example to remind you, keep fighting, keep advocating. You deserve medical treatment, and you deserve a life that your job took from you. I hope this perspective helps somebody else. Be well, my friends.